There are 4 stages of development in clinical trials, and each of these phases have a different goal in mind. And this is really a part of the effort to make sure that drug development is as safe as possible for patients. In the phase 1 portion of clinical trial, researchers are offering these new drugs or new drug combinations to a small group of patients, usually 10 to 15, up to 30 patients. And the goal of that phase of clinical trial is to find a safe and effective dose for the drug. By starting with a smaller group of participants in the phase 1 trials, for example, researchers really have that opportunity to closely monitor each individual patient and to make sure that they are not experiencing any unexpected or serious side effects. If the drug does well in the phase 1, then the drug development goes on to phase 2. Drugs are being offered to a larger cohort of patients, and usually these are offered to patients with a specific medical condition. So for example, 50 or 70 patients with ovarian cancer. The goal of phase 2 clinical trial is really to try to determine the effectiveness of the drug, at the same time tracking the safety records of the drug on that group of patients. The phase 3 clinical trial are the type of clinical trials that are either conducted nationally or even internationally. They may involve hundreds, if not thousands of patients. And in the phase 3 portion of drug development, the researchers are trying to decide whether or not this new drug that has proven its effectiveness are better or safer than any existing standard of care. The phase 4 are usually being conducted after the drug has received FDA approval. So the research team, including the pharmaceutical companies, are continuously interested in collecting safety data on the general population receiving the drug, trying to make sure that there is long-term safety and effectiveness of the drug. When patients participate in clinical trial, they typically participate in only one portion of that trial. Now, there are such things as either hybrid or extension trials, where if the drug is proven to be effective and or safe, the current clinical trial participants may elect to proceed to the second or the later phase of that same trial. Clinical trials are conducted in phases to limit the unforeseeable side effects to as few patients as possible. But once we do see signs of effectiveness, for example, in phase 2 or phase 3 trials, then we broaden the participation in hopes to have as many patients as possible to have access to the benefit of the drugs.